So, hi Sarah, thanks for coming in today. How did you find your trip in? Did you take the bus? Did you drive?
Yeah, I took the bus today. It was all right. It usually takes a lot of time with construction and traffic, and it's raining today, of course. So that wasn't fun. Cold.
Did you feel like you were dressed properly? I know with the weather being as wonky as it is, maybe sometimes it's hard to know how to dress.
I think it's always a good idea to carry around an umbrella. I never do.
Yeah.
So, no, I got a bit soaked coming in, but
you're here. It seems like you're relatively dry, which is good. Thank you. I appreciate you making the long trek in.
Oh,
So I guess I'll just start by giving you a little bit of an overview of my services. I provide counseling services. I'm just going to ask you a few questions, trying to get to know your situation a little bit more, and just maybe try and work through some of the things that you're dealing with. So if that's okay, is that kind of what you're looking for?
yeah, I think that would be helpful.
Excellent.
Just kind of get it out there.
Excellent. So before we start, if I could just show you this confidentiality agreement that we have. So this agreement here is just saying that, saying that I'm a mandated reporter, first of all, and that anything that we discuss is confidential, including my notes. But as a mandatory reporter, that the exception to that confidentiality would be that if I'm concerned that you might harm yourself or someone else, or if I feel I have reasonable concerns to think that maybe a child is being harmed or someone vulnerable. And a third scenario maybe would be that if I'm required by law to pass on my notes through subpoena or something along those lines. Those situations I don't come across often, but it just, in the event, I feel like that's important for you to know. So if that's okay with you, I would ask you to just sign down at the bottom there. Thank you. Thank you very much. So why don't we start? Why don't you tell me a little bit about what brought you here? What's going on in your life?
My life. There's a lot going on in my life right now, so I think I'm just mostly dealing with kind of a lot of stress and anxiety, mostly related to I'm very, very busy right now. I have school, and which is a full-time. I have work somewhere when I can find the time. And then a lot of, kind of just trying to keep in touch with my family and friends, which has been really, really tough as of late. So I'm definitely feeling very pressured from a lot of different areas in my life, and just having a hard time kind of coping with those stressors, I guess.
That sounds like that's a lot to deal with.
Yeah.
So, you've got your family, your friends, school, work, all those things.
Mm-hmm.
Feels like you're trying to balance a lot all at the same time.
Yeah.
Is that right? Or,
Absolutely, yeah.
and if I were to say that you were feeling a bit overwhelmed, would that be correct?
Yes, very correct.
So tell me, what does a typical day look like for you?
Well, I have, as part of my schooling involves a placement, so I most of the week I'm there. I'm working with youth at a shelter, an emergency shelter. So I mean, that's very, very busy. There's a lot going on there and a lot to handle there. And then kind of halfway through the week, I switch gears into I'm in class full days. So I think we have like 3 or 4 classes, and they all have their homework, which I find time to do. The weekends, I would like to say, were my relaxing, but I work every Saturday at my job as well. I work as a receptionist at a counseling agency, so a lot of social work involved. And then Sundays are that's good. I have a little bit of downtime, but I'm finding that's taken up by schoolwork or trying to, see friends or family. So I'm not feeling like there's a lot of time just to kind of decompress from the week. So I think that's where my stress levels are coming from. Every day is full with something.
And so what I'm hearing is that every single day you tend to have a very full schedule, and that you're not feeling that you have a lot of time to take for yourself and to kind of process what has been going on through your placement, through your school. And do you have any time, because I know you mentioned that relationships, your family and your friends are something that you're trying to balance as well. Or is there anything that you feel like or do you feel like you have time to spend with them, or is it more? Yeah.
I'm trying to. My evenings, when I do have them, just because my days are so full, I feel like at the end of the day I'm just ready to sleep. I've been fortunate to be able to like stay with my partner and see him, and we'll make dinner and stuff, so that's been nice. But I really don't see my parents very often. I haven't really seen any friends other than the ones I've made from school, because we're together, 2 days a week. So yeah, like not as often as I would like. So I think essentially.
Yeah. So balancing all those different things is tricky. So you did mention that Sundays you do have some time, though you feel like it's mostly taken up by schoolwork. Is there something that, is there a way that you could allocate some time for yourself? Have you been able to do that? Maybe even just a few hours at a time, if that's possible?
Yeah, that's something I haven't really thought about. I'm scheduled everywhere, and I haven't really scheduled time for myself. So I think that might be important, to give myself a few hours on a Sunday or when I can find it. Kind of laze out, I guess, watch Netflix.
Just kind of relax, because I think that's important in being able to get a full experience of your placement and all the school work you're doing, as well as being able to kind of just decompress and feel okay and feel healthy, feel like you're getting, you're feeling rested, relaxed to be the best social worker that you can be, or do the best in your schoolwork. And is there any, is your placement, I know you said it is pretty busy, do you find any like downtime throughout the day while you're at placement, or is it pretty much that you're?
There, not so much. I find that because I'm working at like the main site, that it's very busy, like in and out, a lot of youth. The only like downtime I have is if I leave like off-site for a meeting or something, and I see myself really like relishing those moments. I have an hour or two to get away from really like a lot of people yelling. I don't want to put that too badly, but it does get loud there, so I really look forward to those meetings when I can kind of leave the office for a few hours anyway.
That's excellent. So it does sound like you have a busy schedule and that you are feeling quite overwhelmed, but what I'm noticing is that you do have some good supports that you have along the way. You did mention that you have your boyfriend that you see quite often, seems to be a good support system for you, and that you do have some breaks in your busy schedule throughout placement, which maybe allows you to take a deep breath and kind of get through your week. And that you do have some family and some time on Sundays that you can kind of use, even if it's just every once in a while. Is there any other activities that you enjoy doing, or is there anything that you're looking forward to? Because I know that just from my experiences in school, that you do get some breaks in between semesters.
Yeah, my favorite thing that I don't get to do throughout the school year is actually just reading for pleasure, like just a novel that I want to read. So, I mean, with Christmas break coming up, I'm looking really, really forward to that, and maybe picking up a book again. I find a lot of, we're reading textbooks, articles, this and this. I do not have time to just read and relax like that. So that's something I'm definitely looking forward to.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great that you have something to look forward to. And when does the semester finish for you?
I wish I could. Well, I think that our classes end the 4th, but of course I'm going to be working throughout the whole month of December, working not only at my placement to make up some hours that I've missed, and my workplace. 2, so, but I'm giving myself at least a week in and around actual Christmas that I'm not working or at placement, which is nice. So that'll be that.
Is there any negotiating that you could do potentially? Because I'm not. Do you feel like you're okay to work throughout the month of December? Is that something that you're looking forward to? Or?
Working.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really love my job, but I'm seeing it. It's so stressful. Like being, I feel like I have 4 different jobs currently, and only one of them I'm getting paid for. So I'm kind of battling. Like, although I need the money and want to work to get the money, what's going to happen come January if I'm already feeling like I'm pulled every which way? So I don't know. Like, yes, the holidays and time off will be nice. Money would be nice, but I don't know. I guess I gotta think about some other options. Like if I'm feeling this way now, it's probably only gonna get worse if I don't do anything about it.
So are you feeling like maybe those 4 jobs are overwhelming, and that maybe 3 jobs, for example, might make you feel a little bit better, and maybe ease some of that stress?
Yeah.
Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, I definitely think so. The thought did cross my mind, do I just quit my job? Because in reality, I mean, I'm working every week, but I'm only working 1 shift, so it's not a lot of income coming in anyway. And I don't have too many expenses, so I could make it work if I were to quit my job. And then maybe that actually would probably relieve a lot of stress if I did do that.
So what I'm hearing is that's quitting your job is kind of the route you're taking, or
yeah, like
are you interested in taking?
I'm definitely thinking about it more.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I'm already anxious about everything. I'm anxious, like thinking even going to my boss and saying to her, hey, I gotta quit, because it's a hard job to train for. I would have to give her more than 2 weeks. There's no way she could replace another staff in 2 weeks. So I don't know. I just feel like I owe them a lot. I've been there for 2 years, and I don't want to burn any bridges there. But I'm conflicted, clearly.
Do you have a good relationship with your boss, would you say? Do you feel comfortable discussing things?
She's a good boss. I've definitely had worse.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, we're not like besties or anything. And I know she would be understanding. I just can't get myself there to actually, I guess, tell her my feelings. I haven't done that yet.
Is there another means? I know sometimes it can be hard for some people to kind of have a conversation about a tough subject, especially if you're feeling like, and maybe you mentioned that you're feeling like you've been there for a long time and you don't want to burn bridges. Maybe sending an email or writing a letter, or to even maybe prompt the conversation. I don't know if you think that might be helpful, or if that's something that you have decided that you would like to do, or maybe even just opening up the conversation with your boss, and I'm sure she would understand that feeling of overwhelm. Maybe there's something you can work out with the schedule so that you can still come in and feel like you're involved, but you don't have to make a longer commitment.
Yeah, I think definitely, like if I were to, I mean, you have to give a letter, I think, anyway, if you're quitting, like it's consent or something.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe if I did, like, at least get that letter written, that might prompt like me more to go to her, and maybe it's something like I hand it to her and then kind of shield myself, and then we can talk about it, I guess. But I think that would be important. And like I said, like I know she would be understanding. She has been a student herself. I just know, like, she's already asked me to take on more shifts come January. So it's like I feel bad, but I don't know. I think I should work on myself, probably.
And I think, yeah, absolutely, and making sure that you're not feeling too overwhelmed, that's very, very important. And I think that's great that you're interested in having that conversation and that you can identify some of the supports in your life, and maybe even just talking it out and using your partner, for example, as pretending as if he was your boss and sort of having that conversation with him. Playing that role play might make it easier for you to know where your boss. So would you like to schedule another appointment, or what's your schedule like?
Yeah, I mean, this time works, so I think that should be fine. I can find, the hour to come in here, which is great. So I don't know if
I'll pencil you in here for this time in 2 weeks, or would you like to come?
Maybe 1 week if you have it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So then I can,
Yeah,
try.
and that spot is wide open. All right, thank you. I'll see you next week. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. Want to high five you?
Yeah.